Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to kind of do like a life update, but I need to fold laundry, so this is where we're at. So 2022 has turned into the year of nothing I would have ever expected. At the time that you're seeing this, it has been about 100 days since my life was essentially turned upside down. Backstory, if this is like the first time you would ever be seeing my channel, I am a mom of 4. My oldest is 17. I have and he is a junior in high school. I have a freshman daughter. She is 14. She'll be 15 in September. I have a 6th grader. He is 12 years old. He was actually born special needs, failure to thrive, all the things, and he's doing pretty amazing. And then I have a 3rd grader. She is 9. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, and then a few years ago, about 4 years ago, well, I went to work and I did things like Scentsy. I started working as like a travel agent, and then about 4 years ago I started substitute teaching. I had always said when the kids were younger that I wanted to possibly like be a para or an aide or something like that when I got to the point that I could, you know, once all my kids were in school and stuff like that. So I started subbing and I really did enjoy it. And then, but I wanted just to kind of keep subbing because it gave me the benefit of like me being able to come and go as I pleased, of taking time off or like not having to take time off, but doing what I needed to do. And then quickly I was asked to sub long-term for a position, which is ironically the position I'm in now, and I did that, and then I kind of learned about the benefit of the benefits. So through my husband's work, our benefits are over $1,000 more, plus we get like really good life insurance, all kinds of insurances and coverages and whatever. So we decided that I would go to work as a para, which is like a teacher's aide. And the teacher that he paired me with, I was like, I didn't know anything about her because she was coming from a different county, and I was just like, oh, this is not gonna be good. And she is like the best thing that ever happened to me. She is like a mom to me. She's just amazing to me. She always has just said how impressed she is with me and that I am a teacher, I am not a para, you know, we are equals. And the cool thing about her is like she was a para, a bus driver, all the things. And like I'm very finicky. I'm like, I don't call myself a teacher. I don't refer to myself as a teacher because I'm not. And I know that some teachers can act finicky about that, but like she's like, I couldn't do my job without you. A lot of people in this pod in school couldn't do their job without you. Like, I'm really good at behaviors. And I don't know, we just work really well together. So things have been going pretty well. I had been thinking about going back to school to be a teacher. I am 37. I already had an associate's degree. Long story short, I figured out that it really wouldn't take that much for me to go back to school, besides money. So I decided last summer to go back to school, and I just completed my first year. Well, it's actually technically, I think, like my junior-ish year of school. I start student teaching next, like in the fall, which is kind of crazy. I have about a year and a half, I think, yes, a year and a half, Yes, a year and a half left of classes, and then I'll student teach. So when Ellie leaves 5th grade, like when she's a 6th grader, I will have my own classroom. I planned it that way just because I do want to finish elementary school with her. She's only ever known me being in the school with her, so I want to kind of keep it that way. Not to mention it'll just be really hard for me to student teach and get her to and from school and all the things. So yeah, that's pretty cool. My first semester went pretty well. I think I ended with a 3.5 as my GPA. I had a 4.0 for my semester grade for fall, and then this last semester wasn't as good. I want to say it was like I think it was a 3.5, and that's what brought it down. I don't know. But if you don't know, my life was turned upside down about 100 days ago. Aubrey has battled what we would call like eating disorder tendencies since COVID. She you know, struggled with body image and things like that. But overall we thought things were fine because we said eating disorder like tendencies. We said, oh, she looks like a pretty healthy weight. Like she's not like looking like she's skin and bones. Again, shame on me, on my part. Thank God Aubrey and I have the relationship that we do, or she would have died. You know, we thought because she plays sports and she is an advanced student, you know, she's a freshman and she's essentially done with her sophomore year of classes as of now. You know, she played sports. She was that perfect student. She never had behavior issues. Like, shame on me for putting my head in the sand and just thinking we'll get over this. She had a friend that had an eating disorder that went to treatment, and I thought, again, shame on me. She's just doing this like because she sees what her friend's going through and she thinks that she has it just as bad. Well, I'm not going to get into the specifics of her eating disorder, but for a long time I did feel that I kind of knew what was going on and it was in control. And then I won't say high school did it, but like once, you know, I was in school this fall. She was in school. She was also playing volleyball. It was her first year of high school. I was really busy with everything going on, and we just kind of ignored it for a while. And then I noticed when volleyball ended, things just weren't the same. She seemed very depressed, very down, very irritable, very angry. And I just said it as hormones. You know, she was always going to the doctor, and again, the doctor was also just kind of brushing me off. So we were really struggling with her getting to school. She was missing a lot of school. And so finally I was like, I'm gonna take her to I'm gonna call the doctor. The doctor said take her to CHOA, not anywhere else, so she can get some fluids in her, because she had sent me a message in the morning saying that she couldn't get up, she couldn't walk, she couldn't move. So I was like, well, I'm gonna show her, I'm gonna teach her that she better stop, because like it's really starting to affect me. Like I was stressed out at work and everything. Well, we go to the hospital, and that's how we find out how bad it was. She, even when we went to the hospital, I remember them saying, you know, okay, well, she's gonna get admitted. And I think even Aubrey thought the same thing. Like, we just thought like, oh, she would get admitted. It was a Friday night. We thought like maybe till like Monday, like when a doctor can see her or whatever. And that's when we found out how bad it truly was. Her blood pressure was all over the place. Her heart rate changes were all over the place. A healthy heart rate change is no more than 30 beats. Hers were going, I mean, 70s, 80s, 90, 100, the difference of it. And that could just be her laying down and sleeping still. You know, the orthostatic one is the one that they were really the most concerned about, and that's when you go from laying to sitting to standing. But those were all over the place. Her heart, thankfully, looked okay, but it was under stress. They said that her heart was going into heart failure, but it wasn't like it had done long-term damage. So we had to get her, you know, eating and doing things, and that's why we were in the hospital for as long as we were. And they got her kind of eating, you know, eating a little bit, enough to get her healthy enough that she could be entered into a residential treatment facility. So we were in the hospital for 2 weeks. We were home for 2 weeks, which we shouldn't have been. It really should have only been a few days, but insurance is lovely. The insurance that I work hard for. Because if you know a para salary, you know that we don't make any money. You work for the benefits. Like I couldn't have this job if I wasn't married. So she went into res for 4 weeks. Now res thought that she would be getting out around, first they said April 28th, and then they pushed it up to April 20th because she was doing pretty good. The things that they were looking for, so when you go into residential treatment, they're looking for a weight number based on your blood. So it's actually a weight number based on you. So like I may be a heavier set person, but I'm always going to be a heavier set person. Like I have natural strength to my body. I have natural muscles. I have a wider frame. So they go and they figure out what your body's happy weight is. So that's a number that they need to get to. They, you know, make sure that you're, because a big thing with eating disorders is you want to make sure that the child doesn't go into refeeding, which can actually kill people. It's actually what happened, like back in like war times. They are checking everything. So that's when we found out that she was actually in liver failure as well. Liver, kidney. I get them both mixed up all the time. She was in liver or kidney failure. I'm forgetting which one right now because my brain is just mush. We started figuring out that she is actually going to be diagnosed with atypical anorexia, which is actually kind of a scary type of anorexia because you don't have like the scary skinniness part of it, but like your body is in really rough shape because your body is in a constant state of it doesn't know what the hell it's doing because things are so up and down and crazy, on top of the fact that she's dealing with some like mental health stuff, some past trauma and things like that. So things were going well, and then out of nowhere we heard insurance isn't approving things. We didn't do our part, they're not doing their part, so you're gonna have to come pick her up. Long story short, insurance ended up approving it. However, she was already gone, so it was like, it is what it is. So she only stayed in res for a month, even though she should have been there for about 2.5. From there, she was home about a week and a half. And mind you, when we left res, we were told all kinds of things, and she was supposed to be there. So I picked her up on a Friday night at like 8. She was supposed to be in PHP by Tuesday. I don't think she went into PHP until the following Thursday, if I'm correct. She would probably remember this stuff better than I did, but I'm just trying to go off memory. So she has been in PHP, which she is doing from home, which is kind of nice. So she is home. She is here to sleep at night, but she's in heavy therapy, group sessions, things like that during the day. She's been in that for about a month now. Insurance is already talking about moving her to the next step, which is called IOP, which is about 4 hours a day instead of 6. It might be 3 hours a day of groups and therapies and things like that. No, it's mainly groups, and then you see your therapist separate of that. So she is getting ready to step down, and then hopefully I'm thinking she'll probably be there a month just because I'm going by insurance, and then I'm thinking she'll be just kind of what they call just regular therapy. So she'll see a therapist, a nutritionist, and a psychiatrist probably once or twice a week. So in all of that, I've been trying to balance school, which is why I didn't finish that great this last semester. I've been trying to balance working as a para to keep this insurance and all these benefits that I work my butt off for. I do have FMLA, but where they discharged her so quickly, and eating disorder recovery is not linear. I have a feeling we could end up back in a hospital. We could end up back in many places. So I've been trying to really like not use it all up. Just kind of not knowing what's going on. And then trying to keep my travel agency business, because one, that is something I enjoy, but also like it's a little bit of income, and you know, we are maxing out deductibles. Thankfully, when all is said and done for this year, the only thing that we'll have to pay for Aubrey is $6,000. But if you don't know, I've had health issues. I am in the process of getting diagnosed with something called Cushing's disease. My body is not doing well. It is breaking down at a rapid pace, and I'm not able to do the things that I need to do. I'm praying to do those this summer. But I think anyone that is a mom knows, like, you're trying to balance, like, you know, taking care of your family, taking care of yourself. It's really hard. Really freaking hard. So our life has just rapidly changed in the last 100 days. The things that I held value, I don't hold value to anymore. Saying that this is my fault, it wasn't by any means. It was a lot of different things. But I think me constantly overstressing myself and constantly having 37,000 things on my plate could have led to this. Aubrey is a child that for whatever reason needs a lot from me. Her therapist in res said she thought she was a daddy's girl, and I don't necessarily believe that she's a daddy's girl, but I do think that she wants her dad to treat her a certain way. But for me, and I don't know why, she does hold value to you know, my feelings and my thoughts. Like, she may get pissed at me, but like she'll always come around and either say that like she thought I was wrong, or she's sorry for something she did, or whatever. She's always had a maturity about her and the way that she handles things like that. Her and I had to have some really ugly moments in the hospital during treatment. You know, here's some things that I don't think either of us necessarily wanted to hear. But it's helped us grow a lot. So, you know, things have just been really crazy and different and changing. So I've just kind of devoted all of my time to my kids and my home and being a better mom, and not giving as much to work and not giving as much to everything else, and focusing on the fact that I do need to make meals for my family, or have a plan in place so that like they're learning to cook and help with meals and things like that. You know, right now, if you know our family, you know that we love to vacation, and it was a lot of Disney trips. And you know, with all of this, we've decided that yes, mom loves Disney and Disney does help her get through things, but let's try some other things. The kids have been asking to go to different places. So, you know, we will go back to Disney for sure. We'll go back to Universal for sure. But I think we're going to sprinkle in different vacations in as well. We are also thinking about finances now. You know, this year will have cost us $6,000 just in medical fees. I've lost a decent amount of income. We spent a lot of money on me traveling back and forth to Atlanta for 2 months. And I live about 45 minutes away, but still, it was, you know, in the height of when gas is crazy. Our grocery bills and costs like that have gone up because we're trying to eat in different ways, not based on cost. We just have to change our values and our mindsets, and it's just a lot. So one of Aubrey's medicines without insurance is $436. Aubrey, I think, is on 6 or 7 medicines a day. And so this year, yes, we don't have to pay it because we maxed out our benefit, but that won't be the case next year. God forbid if she has to go into treatment, we won't be maxed out on insurance. We'll have to pay a good portion of that. So for us, for me, I decided to sell our DVC, which was probably, it was a hard decision to make, but I can take that money and put it towards our medical bills that we have incurred this year. And, you know, we're trying to pay off my car before I start paying for some of these student loans, because I have had to take a small amount of student loans out. Still trying to pay for college so that I can, you know, keep up with the amazing insurance and things that I have. I don't know during when I student teach if I'll be able to take a leave of absence and pay for my insurance. They have said that that could be an option, but if not, like, we're gonna have to pay a lot of money for just insurance, because insurance is gonna have to be something that we always have. So that's just one of the things that had to go. And it sucks. I'm bummed about it, but like, we're gonna try some different vacations. You know, we always said, oh, we want to do Hawaii, we want to do Alani, but why do we have to do Alani? Like, maybe we can do a night or two at Alani, but we can just do other parts of Hawaii when they want to go to Hawaii. We're going on a Disney cruise. I would like to take them on a Norwegian cruise, on a Royal Caribbean cruise. We have talked, and they want to do Turks and Caicos. They want to do Disneyland, which we could have used DVC with, but I think for the vacations that we want to take, as much as I wanted to keep that DVC, we can buy it again later, but for right now, getting her through this, getting her healthy, getting her 100% so that when she goes to college in a few years, like, she's good to go. Like, it's going to take a lot of therapy, a lot of nutritionist appointments, a lot of psychiatrist appointments, a lot of group therapy as a family, just a lot. And that was one of the things that had to go, because it was like, I can quit school, but in the end, that's going to give us so much value. You know, it'll give us great benefits. It'll give me good retirement. It is a job I'm actually really good at. I have been told by many people it's something that I'm really good at, that comes natural to me. You know, down the road, I will probably, like, and I've already started to do it, just like in all this time with the travel. I kind of scaled back. You know, I only took on repeat clients, referrals of repeat clients, or things that I was comfortable in. If it was something that somebody wanted that was a trip that I've never planned before, I wasn't going to take it on, and I referred them to somebody that I felt was a better fit, because it wouldn't be fair to me as an agent. It wouldn't be fair to them as a client for me to do that. And that's probably how it's going to be for the next year. Like, just taking on the clients that I have, and I, you know, have had for a while or whatever. But it's just sacrifices that we're having to make. We were paying extra on my car loan, hoping to have that paid off, and we've decided to stop that because we just want a good amount of money in our savings account for if anything like this ever happened again. Thankfully we were in a really good spot when it happened, but you just never know. Life is insanely short, and stuff can happen in the blink of an eye, and I just want to make sure that she's as healthy as can be. She's ready to go to college when the time comes, and we are able to give her all the things that we need, which means that, like, our life has changed. Like, we are becoming homebodies. We don't really go anywhere or do much of anything besides enjoy the home. And that's just got to be okay for a little while. And that's okay. I mean, we've traveled a lot. We've done a lot of fun things in the last few years, and we will. But for now, we're just really having to slow down and simplify our way of life. Simple things, like I used to stock up on stuff, and like we've just been going through it, and it's like I may not love this type of cleaner, or I may not love this type of beauty item, but I'm just gonna use it up because that's just where we are right now, because there is nothing more important than your child's health. There is nothing like hearing the words that your daughter could have died if you didn't bring her in. There's nothing like it. There'll never be anything that compares to the feeling that I had that day. And it is what it is, and we've had to make some kind of crazy changes in our life, but I know in the end that they'll be for the best. And you know, people have reached out and said, is there anything I can do? Honestly, praying. praying worked. We heard it. We felt it. Was it the ideal situation? No. But I feel that we were taken care of. I feel that, yes, it was a crappy situation and things could have been handled a lot better, but they also were handled in a way that she's doing okay now. Like, she's not 100%. She's like not ready for the real world, but like we're getting there. Like, and things are going to be okay. And like, I wholeheartedly believe that that's due to prayer and people keeping us in their prayers and putting us on prayer lists at churches. And I don't know, like, I never knew how big my circle was until this all happened. Because truth be told, like, I'm not a people person. I'm not one that's going to like ask for help or ask for really anything from anybody. And people just came out of the most unexpected places. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And it really showed me a lot of just how the world is kind of known as like this really shitty, rough place, but in the grand scheme of things, like, people are good. People are good, and I have a good circle. I have a good village. So that is my life update. It was kind of all over the place. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.